and this man that them call Big Mac in the house. Big Mac.
How are you doing, my friend?
Why, my friend, I have something. We bring our guest co-host in a special way. And this one is by Katie Perry. And just with all what is going on at the Olympics and what we have accomplished at the Gold Cup for 2021, listen to this. All right. Don't be surprised. Jamaica will rise, and we're rising to the Olympics, my friend. We rise to the Gold Cup. Yeah, and we're going to rise to the World Cup qualifiers. Welcome. Big Mac, you can just introduce to those persons who've seen you for the first time. You know. They don't have a clue how far we're coming from and who you are. I kept it a secret, but let's go.
Well, let me say lots of respect, Delroy. We go a long, long way. We've been in banking together, friends together, and football loyalists together.
True.
And just hail up to all of the people. I see Brian hail me up from out of Trinidad right away. So yeah, man, and happy to join you. Happy to join you in your discussion, and keep up the good work, my friend. You know,
thank you, my friend.
You're forcing me to do some things that I don't normally do, and that's what life is about. You have to learn some new things. So now I'm on Instagram, so I know I won't get in trouble after this.
Well, Matt, I want to say something. You know, I have had about 60 or 70 persons as guest co-hosts. It's only 2 persons I've ever done Instagram live before. So trust me, I'm breaking them up because I was not on Instagram before the pandemic either, my friend. I was nowhere. I was nowhere in the space. But because of the thing that persons keep complaining that they don't know how they're going to survive, or the business is going to survive, then Money Matters came around and said, hey, what? Let us give you some advice. Let us use entertainment to educate and take it this way on a Monday night. And that's pretty much what we have been doing for the last 16 months. So thank you for joining us. But the sports of business.
I appreciate the invitation, and I think you picked a good time for this particular topic. You didn't tell me what the topic was first, but now I know. And then you told me what the topic was, and you said I'm going to do it at the right time. So I think there's no better time than now. And yeah, so I could go into it.
All right. So you're saying sports is big business, and I'm saying that it requires personality for the athletes to maximize another income stream. Because it's not just winning and collecting, or you have a contract at a club and you collect. You need all of the bigger sports person like Christian and Messi. They earn more in endorsement than what them earn as their contract, as their salaries.
Yeah. Well, you see, when I start talking about sport, and I don't know how much time we have, I kind of like start from the beginning.
20 minutes. It's a 30-minute show.
Yeah, man.
It's a 30
so I'm going to talk about a couple of things which fit in, and anytime I'm going off track, you let me know.
Okay.
First, it's important that people have an understanding of sport, and you know, because sport is recreation, sport is participation. Everybody does sport, you know, and that's the beauty of sport. It's one of the few things that everybody really does, and sport is competition. You know, because you know, historically we like to just compete against each other, and then now sport is business, and there's the business of sport, which is what you are focusing on, right?
Yes.
Now, a unique feature of sport is the irrational behavior of persons, right? Based on them have irrational passions for them teams, for competitions, and for people. That is one of the unique features of sport. And we have to remember at all times that sport has a symbolic significance, you know, in relation to how successful, how we celebrate, you know, the results, the performance outcomes. That really does not occur in any other area of economic and social activity. So because of that quick background and the unique feature that sport has an opportunity in business that nobody else, and that is why these sports people make so much money, right? Because of, yes, it's irrational, because, you know, there's a logical argument to it, you know. Why should Raheem make so much money on a weekly basis, and we can't pay doctors, and we can't pay teachers? You follow me? But that is the irrational part of it, which the market drives. Because you, me, and a lot of us, Brian, I see Wayne, come on, a whole heap of people that join now and talking. We are irrational when it comes to sport. Which team you support? Which football team you support in Jamaica and overseas? Because I always ask about Jamaica, you know, because we're not one of those.
Remember, as a match commissioner now, I can't have a team. Remember, I'm an official, so.
Okay, so overseas. Oh, who you support?
Tottenham while Marino was there. I'm trying to find a team for the next season.
Oh, you're a convenient. But we, you know, wagonists are part of sport, you know. You know, some people only come on to a team when the team winning. Again, it's a irrational thing that drives sport and the value of it. But let's talk quickly now about some things, Delroy. Sport is just like, or the sporting product with the athlete, just like anything else, you know. And you can apply your general principles you learn all the time in terms of the P's, you know, product, place, promotion, you know, all of these things, the 7 P's. But that's typical for sport. But yeah.
One of the things on this show, you will be constantly interrupted by the followers, because it is the followers show. And a comment is being done here by Butler. It starts with personality, and personality will make you stand out over others. Because we were saying personality, personality matters more than popularity.
Yeah, but you could have a great personality and great popularity, but if you don't have a product, you don't have nothing. So that's why it's important to understand. That's why I start out with what people call the 7 P's in marketing. You know, when you have, if you don't have a good product to start. So let's take Usain, for example. One of the reasons why his personality makes him so great is because you have a good product. But if you have a bad product and you have a great personality, and then it's unlikely you're going to be that popular. So that's why you have to start with the foundation, a good product, right? And then you start to package it, you plan it, and then you start to use the elements of it. Shelly-Ann is so well loved because of her personality. But if she wasn't performing, and if she wasn't a good product, we wouldn't pay much attention to her. There are a lot of people that have good personality that don't get a chance to actually perform. You understand me?
Yeah.
But the personality now helps in terms of that packaging. Because for me, personality, popularity is all part of that packaging. You know what I like to think about, Delroy, as we talk about this thing about making money and how people going to make money out of the sport? Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan retired nearly 20 years ago. You know?
Yes.
20 years ago. But his product, his packaging, the whole perception of him and how he was positioned has been so great that right now he's worth about $1.6 billion 20 years after him retired. You understand me?
Even David Beckham. Even David Beckham. David Beckham right now.
Yeah.
450 million net worth. And it's after he retired.
Yeah. and the point is because he now packaged himself while he was playing, while he was a product, and that perception of him has maintained, because that is where you come to the special P's when you're looking at sporting persons. A lot of these athletes now, they're really making their money out of endorsement deals. It's not just the salary. Yeah, Raheem make a big salary. Yeah, LeBron make a big salary. But most of their compensation is really coming from endorsement deals, because they have a good product, and that's where it all starts. And and it's been packaged and planning, and it has gone right.
Well, as you go on, you have to take some of the comments on the screen. You have to take some of the comments, because
I'm looking at them.
You might be
looking at them. Yeah, man. I'm learning, I'm learning. I'm learning as I go along. I'm learning from the professional. So, brethren, it is yes, the personality matters, but you have to start with a good product and a good, the base. Just like a company has a good product, that is when them plan and package it and position it. Then we position it for man who have bald head or man who have hair. So the positioning then comes into account after you have a good product.
Number one takeaway. Number one takeaway, you must have a good product. Because we have to leave it number one. All right.
Yes.
You want to give us something important to. All right. So Benny is the motivator. Welcome, Ben Posh. You have a good product. We know that. You know Mac too. All right. Important to have a good product. Yes, Mac, you have agreement there. Marketing baseline first. Everything comes after. All right.
Which the point I'm making there, Roy, and this is now going to sound a little cold, whether it's sport, banking, manufacturing, you start with the basic, a good product, and the basics of what you call marketing, of product marketing or sports branding. But the special ones for sports, after you gone through those basics, just like if you have a good product, and I'm not going to call any products because I don't know who sponsor your program and all that. But then now you go into the special part of it now, which is your planning, your packaging, your positioning, and your perception. Now, in that packaging, which we're talking about personality and popularity, that's part of the packaging, because that is what you're now going to sell to people. Yeah. And that is why now what we really want to do is try to encourage people, especially in our region. I know you have far reach, but especially in our region, is we have to get away from the historical understanding of sport and get to a more contemporary understanding of sport, and that sport is big business.
Big business.
We have to get to that understanding. A lot of us, when we were growing up, sport was not a consideration for us. Go study a book. That is what our parents used to tell us. Right? Go study a book. And you tell them, say, you want to play ball, or you tell them you want to play the bat, or you want to do this, then ask you for a madman. Right? Or if you think, no, there are real careers in sport. We talk about the athletes a lot, I like to talk about the people who produce the athletes. Great product. Stephen Francis, Glenn Mills. Great. These are brands in themselves. I have said it to Stephen in particular, and all his people that know the brand Stephen Francis has not even been exploited yet, and I mean exploited in a good way. That is true. That's true genius that you have in Jamaica. That
many gold medals on them belt. Many gold medals on them belt. And
yeah.
Check it.
Yes. So those are brands, and the truth be told, the whole sporting ecosystem that you have now, there are a lot of opportunities to make serious money. I remember there was a time when Bibi was playing in England, and when I was giving speeches or lectures, and I would say to people that Ricardo Gardner is the highest salaried living Jamaican. And when you say that in the audience first, you get a little 5 second, and everybody keep quiet. I said Ricardo Gardner is the highest salaried. I didn't say the wealthiest. I said the highest salaried living Jamaican when he was playing for Bolton Wanderers and so. And people look at me crazy, and I say, well, no, I think I can comfortably say that Raheem Sterling in Barna, Jamaica, he's now arguably the highest salaried living Jamaican. Even though I play for England and all of that, we know where his heart is and all that. And there are numerous examples of that. I don't use that to point out, say, they're making money and all that type of thing, Delroy. I use that to indicate that we now have to change our mindset. We know as parents, as a society, we have to change our mindset and understand that sport is big business. Yes, we're lacking the infrastructure. Yes, we're lacking a lot of things, but we have achieved in spite of all of that. And we have some of the best brands in the world.
Man, you talk about best brand. We have reached World Cup with basically no fields. We are mashing up the world globally with basically very limited training facilities. So it just goes to the level of talent that we have. What are we going to do when we really get infrastructure going? We have Chris Gayle. Chris Gayle is the world top T20 man with a net worth of $25 million. And we don't have proper pitch. Then think about it. How much more Chris Gayle we're going to produce? Man,
you see, what part of what we have to do is in that mindset change, we have to understand now how we're going to facilitate the development of more Chris Gayles and Marlons and Usain and Shelly-Anns of this world. That's what we need to do. And that's why I keep talking about the mindset, because the mindset isn't there yet. And we have to develop, you see, the right part of what is happening now, is in the Caribbean generally, we're still low on the value chain in terms of things that we're doing. Right? We're still, just like the sugar cane, just like the bauxite, everything is just a raw product. We need to be also up the value chain in terms of management and make some money and the equipment. So why we can have a line of our own, given our brand.
Well, Mark, I am told, don't you forget the bobsled team and we have snow.
Well, funny is that I was on a flight the other day and the Cool Runnings was there, and I decided to watch it again. And Cool Runnings was done when 1993, I think. So how long ago that was. 93. And it just goes to show you again how, let me and I'm always careful when I'm speaking on global platforms, right? Yeah. Jamaica punch above its weight, for sure.
Yeah. Every time.
Brand, the Reggae Boys brand, that Cool Runnings, the Reggae Girls now, in terms of brand, Usain, Shelly-Ann, the whole track and field program.
Netball team.
Sunshine Girls. Yeah, man. So we have a tendency. We have a natural ability to punch above our weight. What we have not done is really exploited those brands to the benefit of first country, or some people might say different, for the individuals and for the country. And we must all push. And I think it's a Caribbean phenomenon. When we have a Brian Lara and when we have a Hazley Crawford and when we have a Paulie Davis, when we have all of these people that have done well, we need to make sure that they make money and the country gets value from their thing.
I quote the watch.
And Cuddy. And sometimes I don't mention Cuddy because Cuddy is, is my personal, bona fide brethren for life. So, but that's a good example. you know, a number of these persons, think about it, Delroy. If you go was American, you go with a filthy rich now, you know. Filthy rich. I mean, Chris Gayle. Chris, for example, is a phenomenon I like to talk about. Come back to the irrational thing I tell you about sport. Chris Gayle is one of the most popular cricketers in India. One of the most populous countries in the world. Can you imagine if we develop a little program and just we want a little 2% of India buying a Chris Gayle shoe?
Yeah, man.
Just think about it. Think about a little 2% of India buying a Chris Gayle shoe, or a 1% of China buy a bold shoe produced by us, which is why I said we're not going up that value chain enough. Because when see Michael Jordan we talked about earlier, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan. When he just come in the league in about, what was it, I did write it down, 1993, I think, 1984, he signed a deal with Nike for $500,000. That deal ended up worth in March 2020, that deal worth $1.3 billion. Right? I remember I'm done retiring in 2003. That is how now we get the real, that is how we really get the money to matter in the thing.
All right, the money to matter. Hey, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the money to matter, and you have the key, because Harvey is saying is that the mind of Jamaican can't package the product. You hit the nail on the head. Can you imagine you package a Chris Gayle to the Indian people, show you these techniques of batting for T20, just some 5 minutes clip and sell it? Harvey, we can do it, man. We can do it. And it's going to start with Mac. Mac going to lead that.
We can. And no,
yeah,
part of what you hear me advocating and talking to you about now, Delroy, because you can become the partner too. But we need more. The reason why I talk about the change in the mindset so often is because, and Arville is right, we don't have the experience yet to do it. But when we make deals with the people who have the experience, people at Nike, the people at IMG, we want to be there at the table learning so that we can do our own thing, so that eventually we can have some venture capital institutions set up to assist us. Because that's what the business is about, you know. I want to go to Signos and Stratos and all of these people and say, here's what I want to do. I want to do a Chris Gayle shoe, right? And it's going to cost X million. Will you come in as a partner?
Yes. I want you to go to our Supreme Ventures. I want you to go to our Supreme Ventures too. Because what is funny is that, yes, is that we were the only Caribbean country, I think, back then that had part of the Gold Cup, if I'm not wrong, that had part of the Gold Cup 2 years ago. And this is Jamaica again. So it means we can do anything. We can do anything, especially as a country.
And as I say, it's not only Jamaica, the Caribbean has punched way above his weight, because remember now we have produced some great people. When you talk about Kim Collins, in track and field, because Olympics is hot now, talk about Kim Collins, and you talk about Hazley Crawford, you talk about Pauline Davis, you talk about, and now you have, you have Olympics going on with all of our stars. Now, we've always punched above the weight. CONCACAF took a decision and said they're going to do a Gold Cup for the first time. They did it in Jamaica and they did it in Costa Rica, to be fair and balanced. And it was a success. I'm happy you raised that, because just last night, because as you know, I traveling, just last night I attended the Gold Cup. First time, 60,000 people, the Gold Cup final. 60,000 people, Mexico and the United States. Don't know. These are things that never usually happen, you know. And right. Of course, I wanted a Caribbean team to do there. I wanted Jamaica to be there, but that's how it is, you know. Yeah, man. But the key thing there, Roy, that I hope you keep pushing is that change in mindset to ensure that people know that sport is big business. And and the mindset I am talking about is to everyone, you know. Stop this thing about sport like it's a hobby and all of that. And change it from the government and the private sector. And we want that change to do, and then we change to be made, and then we need to get some serious investment in sports. The Premier League, the Jamaica Premier League, for example, we're happy to see how corporate Jamaica has responded to the whole concept. Now it has to go to another level, and then another level. Because the Premier League is the only professional sport that we really sporting competition we have in Jamaica.
Yes.
You know that.
I know.
And that's sad. We need to have a number of others. I mean, cricket needs to be fully professional in terms of some of the, let's call them the major sports. Netball, we need to start, looking at even a semi-pro league, because it's part of the way that we're really we're going to get better. Because the rest of the world doing it, In football, Delroy, Panama used to play baseball 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it's baseball Panama used to play. And now them rivaling us, because they've done the things that it's successful. And part of that is professional.
Yes, but you raise a very important point about the sponsorships, right? That we suppose we can go to a signals. But, funny, where you might can call up a Dan Webby in the morning, because you follow this program, so you might can call up a Dan. I know you can call up a Gayle here, and you can call up Signals, because as I said, he has been on this program as well. Yeah. Agent Gray has been on this program. So you never can tell. And when you put it together before these guys, then we will start in somewhere. So Money Matters calling out the corporate that matters. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned some people that have definitely, because I know Don, and he's from good stock, obviously, attending St. George's College. So, so we put that on the table, and the investment that they have made in Champs in particular is significant. And so we again, that's why I keep focus. I come back every time to this thing about the mindset. If people are willing to listen and work with a program to say how we're going to really get the sport, the big business of sport, really clicking and making more people wealthy. Because we have to stop apologizing for talking about wealth. That's one of the reasons why, Delroy, when you mention the program, I have no hesitation. This thing about poverty alleviation and all of that, that's nice and political, but we need to talk more about wealth creation. And one of the ways for wealth creation for Black people is through entertainment and sport.
All right.
And also an opportunity for higher education. Let me put that on the table as well.
Because the scholarships, because they get the scholarships as well. So look, man, let me tell you something. I surprised my followers tonight, and you are overseas, you are traveling from the Gold Cup, and know you're tired, but we really have to do it deep, because Dennis Strong is one of the men at Supreme Ventures. Gary Peart, the executive chairman, is the chef de mission. What the Olympics. So these persons buy into the whole business of sports already, Is how do we roll it out with a proper plan. And I'm charging you, sir. To be the leader of that group. Money Matters is charging you on that one.
All right, no, right? I know you invited me for a reason. You set me up now, so we have to go make something happen for sure. And we have some good people who have the right mindset, who are in positions in corporate life. And I can speak especially about Jamaica and Trinidad. And so I know that they are there and they're willing. So now we have to go get something. And I accept your charge. I'm accepting your charge. And so hopefully in a short period of time, we're talking about some things. And, let's hope that Money Matters and Delroy Josephs and Supreme Ventures and a number of people are on board.
And Signals and, yes, man, and Grace and Dan. And because, as I said, these persons are pretty familiar with the program, with the show at least. Because they dubbed it the show. I never usually call it the show. They say the show. So I am happy for you, Mac. We have to sit down. Congratulations in your work with FIFA boss CONCACAF. We appreciate what you are doing. And I am saying, you're a man in this space. Everybody know Big Mac. From entertainment to sports to everything. And independence, we can't do much about the curfew. We have to do it in the best interest of the country. So hopefully, when this blow off, we'll go again.
Yes,
thanks.
Man.
Thanks,
yeah,
man. You left us with a lot of takeaways. And we're going to run it.
Yeah, man. Respect, yeah?
Parting words, my friend. Just one advice. 1 minute advice.
If I was to give a word of advice, I would say that sport is one of the areas and one of the sectors in the country that can help catapult Jamaica economically, socially, and culturally to the stratosphere where many of us want to see Jamaica reach. It can be an economic driver, yes, associated with other things. And so right now, we just have to work hard, accept the possibilities, and don't be limited by what is done. You know, I always say, one of my favorite sayings, vision without action is just a dream. Vision with action can change the world. Yes. And right now, we need to start to think, is Jamaica the sporting capital of the world? Is it the sprinting capital of the world? Is it the entertainment capital of the region? We have to put the thing in context, and then we're going to make things happen. All right?
Big up. And I will see you around the table. Around the table.
Keep up the good work, my friend. One love.
Thank you, man. All right.
Yes.
Thank everyone. Plans. We'll see you next week, Monday again.